This is my little harvest from this afternoon. So I've got a couple of little courgettes, some cucumbers, a butternut squash. I've got a little patty pan squash. The tomatoes are still growing really well, but they're ripening much slower, and obviously some of them are like this, but a lot of them are still kind of fine, so I'm gonna use those to make into like a sauce or something. I've got all different chilies here, different ripening stages. Some are red, some are like a dark browny red. And I like these, the way they're quite stripy because they're almost completely yellow. This was a plant that one of my friends on the allotment gave to me. I think this is like a little, is it a Scotch bonnet or something like that? These are herbs that I've grown from seed. They've grown so quickly in the polytunnel, and I've also been having the door down to keep all the moisture in and keep the heat in. So I haven't really watered much, but I've got a bit of tarragon there. This is coriander. And I've got parsley. I just took a massive bunch because I mean it's really spreading and I love parsley. So that's kind of what I've got going on there. As you can see here, I've got my little different sauces. This one's got like some little bits of mushroom in. These are more yellow sort of tomatoes. Got different chutneys and things. These are my little lemon plants. They're probably about a year old, so they're very small, but I put a couple more pips in, so I've got 2 more in here and another 2 in this one, but they are a lovely healthy colour. These are my little supply of some of my squash that I've got. This one had to be picked a little bit early, so it's still kind of ripening. All the other ones are pretty ripe, and this has got to ripen. I've got another butternut squash just there, and then up here I've got a massive curry squash the size of like a pumpkin, and another butternut squash, so I'm loving it. And if you look here, this was an avocado that I saved, an avocado stone. I took the brown sort of casing off, you know, like the shell, which you can just pick off, and then you put the cocktail sticks sort of between where these sort of lines are that go down, so that you're not disrupting that. And then I would say it's probably been less than a month, but it's got this root coming out now, so it's just amazing because I've never grown it before. Just making sure it's sat in a bit of water there, and making sure the water stays clean and everything, no mold. And it'll be interesting to see how this grows, because I've not grown avocado before, and I just think it'll be a really cool plant, even if I don't get avocados out of it. The next thing I'm doing is a couple of my sunflower heads that again just been hanging in this bag to kind of dry out. I have kind of taken them all off of the head, but not all of this is seed. Some of this is like the chaff, whatever you call it. So from what I've just read, I just need to sort of blow to get rid of the lighter stuff that's not seeds, and it should remain with some of the actual seeds. So I'm going to have a go at doing that. I'm just going to demonstrate as I blow it away so you can see. See, the seeds stay, but all the loose material, like the dried bits of sort of petals and things like that, all sort of come off. So I'm just going to finish doing that, and I'll show you when we're left with just the seeds. So with lots of blowing, I think that's basically it now. We're left with just sunflower seeds, which are very small. There's loads there. I mean, that's just one sunflower head. That was one good size sunflower head. I've actually saved loads, so I'm going to have so many seeds. Maybe I'll give some to the birds. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. One thing I've been trying to do this year is to save a lot of my own seeds. So I've just had one of these like net bags that you get from like Tesco, Sainsbury's, your vegetables to go in. And these are all different like dwarf beans and stuff that I've saved, and I think I had 2 or 3 different varieties. Well, I've just started cracking open the pods. Obviously there's a couple in there that are just not viable, but as you can see, I've got some of these ones and then I've got some of these darker ones. So what I'm just going to do is crack them open. I'll just show you one so you can kind of see if I can do it handy. So basically you want to dry them out, which is why these bags are really good, because they let the air and then you don't really get all the mould. And then you just sort of pop them open. And as you can see, they're just sort of in the pod, and you get about maybe 4 in each one I'm getting. So yeah, these will be for next year, and then I can grow my own beans from these without having to buy the seeds again. So from that bag, this is what I have so far gotten. There's sort of 3 different ones in there. I think these are the runner beans, or they could be a dwarf bean, I can't remember. I think they're the runner bean, and I think these are dwarf beans, but I mean, there's quite a bit there, but I think I will try and save a few more pods just so I've got, you know, a couple of years supply. I'd like to build up quite a nice supply of seeds, but the colours are really, really nice. I love the sort of design on them. They're quite unusual. Yeah, these ones were definitely a dwarf bean, but oh, they did so well. They were only Wilkinson's, Wilco seeds. Really cheap, but they've done really, really well this year. So that's why I want to save them. So I did a thing. I do think it looks pretty cool. So I've strung up all my different colour chilies. You know, there's sort of like a dark purpley brown colour. There's reds, greens, yellows, stripy ones. And I just thought this shelving thing, which has got my lemon plants on, but I thought with the different squash and stuff, like, I quite like it, because obviously this is supposed to be extra storage, but I don't like it looking too cluttered, but I think it's almost like too pretty like this. Like I've got a few of my onions left. So what I'm trying to do today is I've just got loads of tomatoes, so I'm just trying to figure out in the slow cooker whether I'm going to do some more pasta sauces, a tomato soup, or something else like a chutney, because I've got some courgettes that I kind of want to get cooking. And let me show you. What I've decided to do is to use some tomatoes, courgettes, some of these little pointy peppers I've grown, and I'm just debating between the two. I don't really do heat and chilies and stuff, but I've tasted both and they've both got a different sort of heat, so I'm not really sure which one I'm going to add. But they're not too bad, because I touched the end of my tongue on it and the heat's already disappearing, so they can't be that bad. And then I've decided I'm just going to add a few spices, just subtly, a bit of salt and pepper, probably a bit of tomato puree, and just kind of put it in my slow cooker, and then maybe later on like condense it down. So it's all in the slow cooker. I've just roughly chopped the tomatoes, some peppers, a chilli that I took all the seeds out, some courgettes I cut up, small red onion, 2 small red onions actually, and some tomato puree, mixed spice, ginger, salt and pepper, a tiny bit of vinegar really, and I'm just gonna sort of see how it goes. I would have just thrown in some fresh parsley. I've also just put some yellow and red tomato seeds. I've just sort of squeezed the tomatoes out, and then I've filled the jars with water, given it a bit of a shake, and have a look in a couple of days to kind of, after they've fermented a little bit, and then obviously I'll save these seeds. The next job is going to be getting all the seeds from the corn on the cobs. Now that they've dried out, I will just put those all into a bowl and then just make sure they're like fully dried out before I put them into like envelopes for next year. It's basically quite a simple job of just sort of pushing against the cob, and the seeds are all just kind of falling out, and this is what you grow them from next year. So next year each one of those make a plant, and because this was like one of my good quality cobs, hopefully it will produce some good corn for next year. Well, that's all for this video. I hope it inspires you to save your own seeds, and I'll see you next time.